Don't woke y'all up this morning. We are coming to you live from the beautiful headquarters here in Burlington, North Carolina, and it is my honor to introduce our man of the hour, Mr. Andy Albright.
Those are some crazy numbers, and things are happening in the Alliance. It's fun to watch, and I like these new names that are coming about. We don't know these, I don't know how to pronounce them. So make sure that you leaders, upline managers, let us know if we're saying these names wrong, because these are new to us, because we've got so many new people coming on board, which is a good sign, but we want to make sure we get their names right. I want to remind you that we are getting crazy with recruiting to the point that we're giving away free t-shirts this month. Okay. So we're saying a minimum of 3 recruits, but what I'm leaning to is everybody that gets 2 recruits, we can do these t-shirts, but 3 recruits, it's where I'm leaning. We got to get this thing done. It's these coins that we sold out of that were a hit. We've made an adjustment to them. That's, in other words, if you got these, you got a collectible, because there's not going to be any more made like it, but we're going to make a different model. It's a little bit different. We're going to have 20/20 vision on it. And if you get 3 direct recruits, we're going to give away one. You're going to get one of these free coins. So 3 direct recruits gets you a coin. 2 direct recruits get you the t-shirts. And I don't know if that means to you, but I'm getting me a t-shirt. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, I like those people that say, like, I don't care nothing about a t-shirt. I like those people. But I love people to say, I'm getting me a t-shirt. Yeah. I'm getting me a t-shirt. I don't know what y'all. I'm getting me a t-shirt and a coin. And I got, you know, it is, you know, you think about it. The people that are texting me say, hey, I'm going to get a t-shirt. Hey, I already got my t-shirt. I've got it lined up. I'm going to get a double t-shirt. Those are the people you get excited about, not those numbskulls that are like, I don't care about a t-shirt. Like, whatever. I do. I'm getting mine. Month to date, Andy Riddle has already put in 20 direct recruits to him. 20. He is double number 2. Which is Jason and Tawny Carey. So they're number 2 in the United States of America with 10 direct recruits. Brant Swindell, hired by Andy Riddle. Actually, he's part of, what's my boy's name? Mark Marcellus. So it's Andy Riddle, Mark Marcellus, and Swindell. So right there, boom, boom, Swindell and Riddle done put in 20 direct to him, and Swindell put in 9. Let me tell y'all how this works. The more people you get selling, the more money you make. Does that make any sense? Yeah. More people, more sales, more premium, more money. Does that make more trips? I don't know. Some people are confused on that, but let me let you know. Alex Sabian is kicking butt. He has put in 7. Kyle and Sharkater put in 6. Kimberly Spinelli Young 4. So in the top 6, it goes from 20 to 4. Y'all see what I'm saying? In other words, boom, we're down to 3. And the 7th person, John Davis has put in 3, Mike and Noel 3, Mike Swales has put in 3, Paleo has put in 3, Hartlib has put in 3, Mike and Michelle Alleman 3. That's the 3s. And this is month to date, okay? So this is just through the halfway through the month, through August 15th. Then we got a bunch of 2s. So, I'll do the 2s real quick. Mike and Michelle Allman. Y'all know that the leaderboards are extremely boring to people's names that do not get called. She was leading the leaderboards, and I was looking at something else. I was like, my name ain't on that list. I don't care. But when you... Mike and Michelle Allman, Lou Abadi, Billy Crane, Evan Patzer, Eric and Bobby Belair, Brandon and Ashley Beal, Andrew Peters, Jake Lynn, Alfonso how you say Gallegos? Gallegos. I knew that. Gallegos. Alfonso Gallegos, Jerry B. and Cassie B. Put in 2. Wendy Neal, Fitzgerald, Diane Lampy, George and Penny Wilson, Micah Henderson, Jason Ingadal, Stephen Thompson, Valicia Waddell. There we go. That ends it. I'm not going to do the 1s. All right. Get you a t-shirt. let's get our recruiting up. Let's take it through the roof, guys. This thing's going to explode. So I sent out a note. I said, I want to talk to you about recognizing great potential and great leaders. In other words, when you're hiring people, how can you tell what they're going to be like? First of all, I use a poster. Alliance Aiden and Alliance Alice. That's what I look at. I always pull that poster up. If I see somebody, I pull up my poster, I take a look at them, I go like, I hold it up, look at them and go like, yeah. I squint a lot of times too. That's a perfect match. Some of you guys got your eyes closed. You ain't squinting. I be like, I think she looks like she'll work. That's what I do. So now y'all know. How do you spot potential? You squint a lot. You take your poster up, Alliance Aiden. Look at that right there, I squint. He looks a lot like Alliance Aiden. You know? Okay. I got a lot of statements to make. All right. Can you see it in him or her? So when I meet a Uber driver, or when I meet a person on the phone, I see it in them. Can you see it? This is one of my statements, one of the great benefits of vision, seeing, great vision, it acts like a magnet. You will attract people, you will challenge people, you will inspire people, and you will unite people. So when you see it in people, it fires them up. The question is, can you see it? Can you spot it in somebody? I'm looking in their eyes, I'm looking at the way they stand, I'm looking at the way they drive their car, the way they serve the meal, the way they shake hands. I am looking for a spark in people when I meet them. And I'm trying to see the potential. And sometimes it's not there. Sometimes I think it's my imagination. But you know what? I would rather think that a person has potential and then fail than to think everybody don't have potential and never have anything. Does that make sense? Like, it's just, I guess you call it optimistic the way I see people, but I am. I see massive potential in so many people. There was this artist, this is going back a lot of years, 1924, his name is William Wolcott. I was reading about him in 1924. He went to New York City and he was supposed to draw how, he was an artist. He was supposed to put down how the city inspired him. And one morning he was at a friend's office looking out the window and he was like, oh my God, let me have a piece of paper. And the guy was like, that is ordinary wrapping paper. That is not sketch paper. It is not proper artist paper. And he said, give it to me. He said, ordinary paper in an artist's hands I'll transform it. So he sketches two pictures that morning. Within the year, this is 1924, he sold them for $500 and $1,000 each on ordinary wrapping paper. Wow. I think that's worth that's like $250,000 and $1 million today is what these drawings sold for. People under the influence of an empowering person is like, it's like paper in the hands of a talented artist. No matter what they're made of, they will become a treasure. You tracking with me? The artist being you, how you handle people, how you deal with people, what you make of the ordinary can become extraordinary. Does that make sense? Like if it's a great, you are the artist when it comes to dealing with people. What are you going to make out of them? I've told a story, and I think about it so much, that one little league coach will be talking about the kids. He can't get them to do anything. And then another coach will have the kids fighting to win, crying, loving on each other, scratching, clawing, diving for the ball, getting bloody. They don't care. And the other coach, he just got to find a way to blame it on the mothers, the daddies, whether they're rich, whether they're poor. And they can use it. They can say, hey, my kids are just poor. They come from terrible backgrounds. They just won't try. Or he could say, my kids come from rich backgrounds. They're all spoiled rotten and they just don't want to win. It's the coach's choice. The same thing we're dealing with people. What do you see in people? What do you expect in people? What do you believe in people? What did this artist see when he takes this ordinary piece of paper and turns it into $1.25 million one morning? It's that vision. Okay. So here are some questions that you need to ask yourself about how you feel about people. Do you believe in people and feel that they are your most appreciable asset? That's kind of an engineer. A lot of stuff I take back to engineering or mathematics. If you have a car, if you have a house, if you have any material, how much is it going to be? How much more money can it be worth? And I know people buy these all collectible cars, and they bought it for $5,000, and that's worth $42,000. Woohoo! A person. How much can a person appreciate? You know, how much more valuable can a person get? Do you see people as your most appreciable asset? Is that what can change the most? Or do you see your socks or your car or your house as your most valuable asset? Number two, do you believe that by empowering others, you can accomplish more than just by yourself? Can you make a bigger impact? Can you accomplish more with other people? It seems simple and straightforward, but try to soak that in. Can I get bigger? Can I do more? Can I change the world? Can I make a bigger impact with more people? Or is it one person going to do it? Number three, do I search for potential leaders? Am I looking for people with potential? When I see people, when I meet people, when I'm out and about, am I looking for the future? Am I looking for potential? Number four, would I be willing to raise other people higher than myself? Would I let people be better than me in areas? Can I mentally handle it that they could be better than me in this area? Is it okay with me? Am I going to be upset if they pass me in any area, in any expertise, in any subject matter? Number five, would I be willing to invest in developing people with potential? Would I be willing to put my time, effort, and energy into developing people? Would I do it? Would I be willing to let people get credit? Would I let them have the credit? Even if I taught them, I showed them, but now they're doing it, can I walk away and say they get the credit? Number seven, do I allow others the freedom of personality and process, or do I have to tell them every move they make? If they figure out a way, will I let them figure out a way, without trying to stop them, slow them down, control them, take credit? Will I give them the freedom? Would I be willing to let them have authority? Will I let them be the boss? Will I let them make decisions? Can I let people do stuff? Number 9, would I be willing to let people do stuff that was my job? A lot of people scared, they want to stop people because they think if they do my job, then I won't have a job. So do you have enough sense to understand that if they do your job better than you do your job, there's going to be another job for you to do? Do you have that kind of intelligence? Would you be willing to empower people to the point that you're cheering for them to succeed? All right. All this is attitude stuff. I'll write these down and give you these 10 things, but all of it is just an attitude stuff. That number 1 starts with a belief in yourself, and number 2, a belief in somebody else. And it's just a simple decision. It's crazy because I was reading through a book that I read in 2003, and I was like, it's hard for me to imagine all the stuff that I forgot. Like I'm one of the dumbest persons y'all know. Some of you know that. Some of you it's obvious, and then some of you think I know stuff. When I read stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that. But it was in me long enough. Like all these questions that I'm giving you, I remember asking myself these questions. I say I remember it. I remember it like as in like when you see a picture and you go like, I remember that. I remember it because I'm looking at it. It's not like I could have recited it out, but I remember thinking through that stuff like, do I really feel like this? And then turn around and saying, I've got to feel like this if I'm ever going to be rich. If I'm ever going to have anything, if I'm ever going to be able to give anything away. We did the Albright Sports Medicine Center at NC State yesterday, and they showed us brand new. All the kids were in there working out, and doctors were in there, and chiropractors in there, and everything was going on. All the prehab and stuff for football, and the rehab for football, everything that was going on. And we had given a lot of money to try to support this project at North Carolina State. If you ever want to do stuff like that, then you're going to have to say yes to this stuff that I'm asking you. And all it is an attitude. It's saying I believe in others. I'll let them do it. It is an attitude that attitude is a matter of choice. And people hit me with this. That's not the kind of person I am. Well, how would you like to become that person? All it is what you say, what you think, and what you do. It's not some kind of gene in you that makes you an idiot. It's not a gene in you that makes you a genius and a leader. It's just an attitude. All right, that's what we do. If you can get that concept that you can flip that switch and start helping other people. I was reading something the other day about just the way that you say stuff. Like if something happens to you, if rather than saying, oh God, this is the worst thing ever, if you say that, your body has a chemical reaction, the temperature, the way that all the molecules work. If you would just say, whew, man, that's tough. That's a tough go right there. Just saying, hey, it's a tough go, or whew, that's rough. Huh, That's pretty tough right there. Woo! Just saying that versus saying, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. Like I'm going like, is it possible that just the words come out of your mouth changes the way your whole body feels?
Right.
And it's, I have noticed it. It's so much true. Because I talk about going from point A to point B, you want the straightest line. And the people that go, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. They put it down here so low. Now they've got so far to come back up to get to work. Versus somebody goes, whew, that's a rough go right there.
Right.
They come back to right here and get, like just, it can't be like the words. So, but it's however you feel. And I don't know. Not according to psychologists and psychiatrists and successful people. It's more really attitude.
Yeah.
It's more the words that come out of your mouth. It's just, I'm telling you, if it's just you, you're going to have a certain amount of success. If you can have other people, but it's the attitude you have toward other people. But it's the attitude you have toward anything, whether it's a stump toe that we're talking about Wednesday, or whether whatever is happening, emotional disaster, like, whoo, that's a rough go right there. Get next. What are we going to do? It's just that simple decision quickly and getting in the habit of making that. Jeff Bright was saying it was my ability to, what do you call it? Cope. Coping skills.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm moving on. Got a lot more stuff to hit you with. All right. Now, dealing with people and picking out leaders. If I had to pick people that know they don't know, make more sense to me. And I have seen more success with people that know they don't know than people that think they know. Turns out that we are overconfident people. Let me try to give you an example. Raise your hand if you think you are a above average driver. We cannot all be above average. You see how the math works on that? Average is the median. If half of you are below and half of you are above, then you would be either above average or below. If everybody thinks they're above average, that just tells you we think we're better than we are. Does that make sense? So, a person that goes, I'm pretty good except when I'm texting. I'm pretty good except when I ain't paying attention, which is often, or when I'm drinking. Drinking and driving, I'm terrible. People, they call it humility. But, and you know, it's one of those, arrogance and brokenness put together, to me, is extremely annoying. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, they're broken, they know everything. Oh, this is going to be a rough go right here. Like, oh, God. So people that are humble, people that know they don't know everything, people that, you know, they'll listen to you. I was so impressed with a guy yesterday on the phone, I gave him over to Mike Hartley. I said, you know what? This joker knows too much for me. I can't deal with him. I'm going to let Mike Hartley hire him. Now, I got to tell you, Mike, I oftentimes give you really good people. My wife gave you a good person, and I gave you a good person the other day. But that one I gave you yesterday, whoo-hoo-hoo, that joker knew everything. He told me. Now, I got to tell you this. He probably knows somebody good, because that's what Mike, if I was you, I'd get a list of that guy and start calling his people. I'd call his great-grandchildren is what I'd be calling too. Oh, I'm not kidding you. That was funny. So hire people, you know, in other words, so this guy's arrogant as everything, or I don't know, it's not he wasn't arrogant, it's just he knew everything. Like, he was telling me how I run my business, and I was agreeing with him. And he knew. Woo! I'm more asking. I'm looking. I like the humble people, people that know they don't know. See, I know how dumb I am, and I'm the one coaching him how to do it. So if he's automatically smarter, we're just gonna have a problem. Does that make sense? If a person is open and willing to listen. All right, now a couple other tips. If a person is terrible, weak, pitiful, and you try to throw too much at them in the beginning, you will mess them up. If people are really good and ready to roll and you move too slow, that'll mess them up. So what you should be doing when you're talking to people is assessing or evaluating. Now, it seems like a contradiction to that thing where we say we don't judge people. Well, you got to decide if a person is ready, or if they're able, or if they're good, or if they get it, or they don't get it. Like you can't be like a dumb coach thinking everybody's going to be great. You got to do some evaluating. Because if they're terrible and you try to push them, you're going to mess them up. If they're ready to roll and you ain't ready to roll, they're ready to go and you're too slow, that's going to mess them up. So you got to use some intelligence. In the beginning, when you evaluate a person, I would do this. Think about what do they know, how good are they, and what's their desire. So let's talk about their knowledge. Okay. When you hire a person and they're like I'm gonna talk specifically about building this business, okay? People don't all know that there's big money in insurance. People also don't know that the insurance company is trying to make money. And they don't understand that they're paying us to get money from other people. Like, people just don't know stuff. So if you will when you talk to a person and ask them, you're trying to evaluate, do they understand what we're doing? You'd be shocked that people don't understand what we're doing. But you start asking them and they say, oh yeah, I get it. Our job is to go get the money and get it to the insurance company, and they pay us a commission to get the money. And they don't want to write people that are going to die. They want to write healthy people, right? Right. But most people don't do that. They don't get it. They say things like, this is a stupid insurance company. They should give me the money. I filled out an application and it had a few errors and, a lot of details messed up, but they don't want to give me the money. I don't think that's right. I'm like, whoa. Let me explain to you how this works. The insurance company wants to make a profit, and they have to evaluate. You see what I'm saying? Like you shockingly, you need to evaluate what people know. Even like when you're so on the phone, when you're talking to people and you say things like, "What was your job?" Like when you're recruiting, what was your job? And they start telling you, and then I always ask them like, well, why are you leaving there? Or why are you not happy? Or why didn't that work for you? Sounds like a great company. I want them to tell me why they failed. And so I'm listening intently to what they think is the reason they failed. Because I'm trying to decide what I'm going to have to tell them to get them up to par. Okay, knowledge is power and knowledge is empowering. So if you can teach people the why, the how, the big picture, the understanding, it gives them a whole lot more potential. I say you got to explain it to them. As people ask me, I go like, why you, how do you get people to recruit? Or how do you people to understand that building a big network is important? How do you, first I'm asking them questions, see if they understand that Kellogg's that makes that Frosted Flakes and stuff and Corn Flakes, they didn't do it with one person. Right. They had a big bunch of people at the manufacturing warehouse pressing them cornflakes. Right. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The government, United States of America, has multiple people paying taxes. You see what I'm saying? The NBA has multiple teams and multiple people watching television. Nothing gets big with one. So, but it's a matter of getting them to understand it and asking them what they know. So I'm trying to evaluate. And some people really, I mean, I don't know. They just, I always think they didn't watch TV when they were growing up because they don't know nothing. They're just dumb. And so I'm looking for a person that is street smart, has a little bit intelligence, a little more intelligence about them, about to understand the concept. Number 2, I'm looking at their skill set. I'm trying to evaluate their skill set. Can they articulate? Can they ask questions? Can they summarize? Because all these skills that they have are going to tie into how good they're going to be immediately, or how long it's going to take me to pour into them and train them. So a lot of it, if I had a resume, kind of tells me, but a resume is not going to tell you everything. Is when you talk to people and let them explain it. Because a lot of times I think they got somebody else to do their resume for them. Paid their sister or cousin $10 to do it, and you talk to them a few minutes, you're like, you didn't do this. You're not the one that did this resume. I know that's right. The third thing that you're evaluating is desire. No amount of skill or knowledge is going to be successful without desire. I love this quote. Man is made so that whenever anything fires his soul, impossibilities vanish. So you can take dumber than dirt with crazy desire, he can be successful. But if you've got skills and knowledge and desire, you got a big opportunity right there. Right. So you're trying to evaluate their desire. Let me tell y'all something. When people do stuff fast, they want to do it. When they do it slow, they're trying to give you a red flag. I need a flag where I can just wave it. There's a flag right there. You know, I'm like, hello, I don't want to do it. People ask me like, this guy, he's moving real slow. What do I do? He's got a flag going, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And you're like, I think he loves this business. He wants to do it bad. No, he don't. That flag he's waving at you, going as slow as a dadgum snail, and you're just friggin', you got your eyes shut. I understand you squint and try to make them look good, but you got to open your eyes a little bit and see that they're waving a flag. Does that make sense? Yeah. Desire. Desire has a lot to do with speed, and when you see them, how quickly they do something. A man told me a long time ago, he said, if a person's taking a long time to do something, he don't want to do it. If he's doing it right now, that means he wanted to do it. That's just the way people are. Okay, so the first thing is evaluate them. Next thing is model for them. Show them. Work ethic and attitude. If they copy, hello. If they don't copy, hello. It's intelligence. Ties in. Attitude, your work. Number 3, help people believe. Now this is something you might think, well, I can't help people believe it. Yes, you can help them believe. The way you help them believe it is you expect it and you tell them. In other words, your expectation and your verbalization. So I'm looking at people, y'all seen me do it, and I know sometimes you think I'm crazy because I'm telling a person, you can do this. And you're thinking, this person is mentally and emotionally not capable of opening up a jar of peanut butter. Aww. And I'm sitting there thinking they can build this business because I see the potential. So I say to them, you can do it. I wonder how many of y'all are looking at other people saying you can do it. Look, he passed the test. You know how many people didn't pass the test? He passed the test. He got lucky. I know he got lucky, but he's lucky. I'd rather have a lucky person than a talented person anyway. You say, well, what if they're talented? That's okay too. Talented or lucky is the two I'm going for. And if it took them 7 times, you say they're dumb. I say they're persistent. You with me? Does that make sense? Like, that's what I see in people. So you got to tell them, but I've got this attitude. Because see, if I could capture this and put this in a jar for you, I think if I could do it, anybody can do it. That's just the way I see myself. I'm like, y'all have no idea how I don't know stuff, how I can't remember stuff, how I mess stuff up. And I'm thinking, God, if I could do this, I'm scatterbrained, ADD, triple D. I mean, lack of focus, lack of decision making, and anybody can do this. But I think that's why I think these arrogant people, they think they're so smart, and then they think other people can't do it. And because they think they can't do it, they don't. Wow. Does that make sense? Because they don't expect them to do it because they think they're so smart, nobody else can do it. And I'm looking at you going like, I did it. I know you can do it. You got your shoes on backwards, but you could probably do this business. You with me? All right. So telling people that they can do it, verbalizing it, saying it, but it's also that expectation. And that expectation, I went back earlier, is an attitude that you can just have. I argue with people. I go like, no, they can't. I'm like, I don't understand. If you say they can't, that screws the whole pooch. You with me? It just ruins the whole affair. Like you can't counteract me. Like I can't vote for them and you vote against them. That cancels out. I got to vote for them and you got to vote for them. All right. Model it, evaluate them, model it for them, believe in them, tell them, help them believe. Number 4, let them fail. I need people to mess up, and y'all try to keep people from messing up. I just want to do it for him. Let him fill it out. Get him on the line with the carrier to get it pending. Send him out to the house. Tell them to go out there at 4 a.m. and when they come back out of the house, get them to sign that last signature. Let them work. Let people work. Let people fail. They got to fail to make it. And I know it's going to hurt when they get no and they get no showed and people cuss them out on the phone, slam the phone down on them. I get it, but you got to let it happen to them. And then you got to be there to encourage them. That's number 5, is show confidence in them, say them. Say to them. I like to introduce people. Hey man, let me introduce this girl. Let me meet this guy. They can do this. They're going to be big. And so I'm just telling them in front of other people. I love to tell people. People ask me, why do you get people up front? So I can tell them up there. I get them up front and I go, this person's going to do it. I'm telling them they can do it. So I let them fail, but tell them it's going to be okay. It's just a non-stop. Let them fail, but tell them it's going to be okay. Feedback, coaching, people going to make mistakes, miscues, misjudgments. Now listen to this. This one's a hard one, and this is how some people get rich, some people don't. Give them what they need, not what they deserve. Tracking with me? Tell Amber I'm messing this thing up. I got you. That's good. Give them what they need, not what they deserve. People need attention, love, high expectations, encouragements. They deserve to get slapped. They deserve to be fired. They deserve to be disconnected from the carrier. You with me? I deserve a one-way ticket to hell. Does that make sense? I don't want what I deserve. I want what I need. Other people are like you. If I give you what you deserve, you out. That makes sense? But that comes back to that humility thing. And people think they deserve the world. Huh. Can't do nothing with them. All right. Coaching. Try to figure out how they screwing it up. And tell them what they're doing wrong. Come here, man. You standing there, you look dumb. Take your hands out of your pocket. Quit digging in your nose. Get that spinach out of your teeth. Slick your hair back, man. It's looking like that gum you electrocuted or something. You with me? Coach them. People say, well, y'all are supposed to be positive. Yeah, I'm positive. He needs to take a shower. He stinks. Does that make sense? Like, just coach them on the little stuff. Or when they're on the phone, say, hey, when the phone rings, what do you say? Hey, well, I'm Andy Albright. I'm here from telemarketing offices of Burlington. What? Like, you got to fix what's wrong with people. But all these ingredients matter. If all you're doing is bitching, that's different than coaching. But people need to hear what they're doing wrong, and you need to guide them through it. This is called developing leaders. Give them what they need, not what they deserve. Everybody wants attention. Oh, people do whatever you give attention to, that's what they do too. So you got to be careful that you don't give the dumb things they do more attention than the good things. You got to give the good things more attention, but calmly coach them on the negative. Calmly coach them on the negative. And then the last thing will be let them win. Give them credit. Don't try to take credit for everything they did. That drives people crazy and they'll quit on you. All right. Getting people to do stuff. This is the way, I think I'm going to tell you the negative way. How do you make people feel small? Don't have genuine belief in them. You don't believe in them. You don't think they can do it. This is more prevalent. If you're sitting there going like, that's one thing I do, is I think people do it. I think it's way more prevalent. I just know too many people that think that they're so good that they can do it, but other people can't. And I'm trying to tell you, that is arrogance that is not good looking on you. Your arrogance that you can do it, and they're stupid, and they need a mother, and you have to do it for them, and they're pitiful, makes people feel small. And I read, a long time ago, I heard this, it made sense, this is it. People rise or fall to the expectations you set on them. They rise or fall. So your expectations are terrible, they'll accomplish it. Your expectations are high, they're more likely to accomplish it. Assuming people that can't, as opposed to assuming a person can. Assuming a person won't, as opposed to will. Like going to conventions. Like sell your couch, sell your car, go door to door, get licensed in a day, go make some sales. Assuming people will makes them feel good. Assuming people won't puts them down, makes them feel little, and then they don't like you. Seeing problems, not potential. Seeing a person as a problem, and it's just, that's an attitude. Like I think about this one person right now. They see everybody as a liability and as a chance to go wrong. They don't see the upward potential. I see them as an asset. They're going to be needed. Y'all remember that movie, Braveheart? And when that joker come over there, he said he come from his island, his home island. I think he was like from Ireland or Italy or something. He called it an island, and he was kind of crazy. And that guy, Bruce, was his name Bruce? Bruce Wallace, is that his name? Huh? Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis is the actor. William Wallace, that's his name. Y'all figured it out. That William Wallace guy, he looked at that crazy man. The William Wallace guy, he looked at that crazy guy and he said, this joker's going to be an asset. Not this guy's going to be a problem. And the way he recognized it's going to be an asset, because somebody's like go pull a knife on him, next thing you know, that joker done snuck a knife in there, and he proved that he was crazy. There's no doubt about it. That joker was cray-cray. He thought he owned a country, and he thought that God sent him to protect this William Wallace. I mean, he was crazy. But this Wallace character in Braveheart, he said, this joker's going to be an asset to me. And sure enough, he became one. Saved his butt. That makes sense?
Yes.
Seeing people as assets and potential growth and what they can do makes people feel big around you. And if people feel little around you, then you got little people around you. But getting people to feel big around you. So the way I recognize it, I'm looking for Alliance Aiden. Already gets some stuff. There's characteristics on each side of both of those, Alliance Aiden and Alliance Alice. That's what I'm looking for. But I always take what I get, and then I start thinking that I got a miracle. Like this person can do it. Now, if you line up 22 people and you see all of them as equal, you are screwed. You can't do that. You've got to evaluate based on their knowledge and their skill and their desire. And you got to put more gas and more effort where the knowledge and the skill and the desire are. Now, if a person's 18 years old or 22 years old or 23 years old, they're not going to have a knowledge that a 26 or 27-year-old is. Now, when they're 50, that starts to be a different problem. Because a lot of times they think they know everything, and they will tell you. When you ask them a question and they don't shut up for about 9 minutes or 12 minutes, there's your flag waving right there. I know everything, and I am going to transfer that knowledge to you in the next hour and a half. And you got to learn to say, George, whatever their name is. And you go, look at here, I'm going to get back to you on that. I got an appointment. You can't line up 22 people. You've got to evaluate knowledge, skill, and desire. And I'm telling you, you hold that chart up and kind of gauge it. And I'm a squinter, okay? Hey, looks, yeah, I think that's pretty much a match right there. But you people that are going around like this right here, he's awesome! He's gonna do this thing! I wanted to like peel them back and go like, you ain't looking, or they entered it, hey, he's just like Stephen Davies, ain't it? I'm like, secretaries, your secretary's like Amber. I go, You with me? I'm like, bro, you would not do good in that in a Sunday paper when it comes to that picture of the little kids swinging in the swing set, and they go, it's two pictures, and they say, what's missing in this picture? The kid could be missing, and you wouldn't see it. You'd be like, same picture. It's not the same picture. Not only is a little grass sprig missing, the girl's missing. You with me? So, spotting potential in leaders has a lot to do with your attitude and your expectation, and then your evaluation. And then going forward, it's how you handle it. Do you see them as potential? And all those 10 questions, like what's your, like, so you got to evaluate your, so it's a little, to me it's not complicated. It's very, very simple. But you got to at least start to grab the complexity of it's up to me and them. It's not just them. Now I got to tell you, you can find one guy and they'll do it no matter how terrible you are. It's hard to find two. But if you will cooperate, that's when you start getting the numbers up. Does that kind of make sense? Like, you can get a home run, one lucky shot, but if you're going to get a Hall of Fame, or you're going to get wealthy, we got to get multiple organizations going, and that has to do with you being the right person and them being the right person. That's the reason for the books. Oh, I had one thing I want to tell you. This is a bonus. This is bonus stuff. I was reading this in 2003 and it stuck with me. I remember this. I think about this a lot. This was a sociological study with people over 95 years old. And the question is, if you could live your life over again, what would you do differently? This is what old people say, pushing 100. If I had it, this is not like hundreds of examples. This is repeat, 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 repeat. If I had to do over again, I would reflect more. I would think about what happened yesterday. I would think about my friends. I would reflect. If I had to do over again, I would risk more. People deal with this all the time. I ain't taking a chance. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to bet on coming to, I'm not going to run an ad. I'm not going to drive to Miami based on one person. I'm not going to fly out to California. I might fly out there and they turn out to be a dud. I get that all the time. I understand there's a possibility of you failing. Old people look back and say, I wished I had a risk more. If I had to do over again, I would do more things that would live on after I'm dead. Legacy. I wish I had done stuff that would matter after I'm gone, not just stuff that matters when I'm alive. Wow. Okay. Reflect, risk, legacy. So I am telling you that there's a 99% chance that when you get old, you're going to look back and say, I wish we took y'all moving up here like y'all did. That's crazy. And you're going to talk about that, enjoy that rest of your life. Now what you got to do is what you're going to risk next. What are you going to bet next? And you got to talk about building legacy. This is stuff, this is regrets. Like if you want to not have as many regrets, do this stuff. All right, this other thing was this will mess me up in a great way too. People, when you look at knowledge and skills, and people, this is another tip on finding great people. Great people are usually not great at everything. Like one of the things you like, when I say I'm really not any good, I'm terrible, but there's certain things I'm good at. So you usually get this contradiction. People that are really good are really bad. And if you evaluate people because one aspect of them is really bad, you're missing out on a really great person. This is big. In other words, they psycho, but they're really good. They're nasty, but they can sell. You with me? Yeah. Does that make sense? So here, this is this story. A young violinist was asked the secret to her success. And she said, planned neglect. Planned neglect. When I was young, I made up my bed, I cleaned the house, I got my stuff organized. I went to bed on time. I dusted, my house was clean, we had the right food, and I noticed that I was not that good at the violin. She said, so then she would practice, right? So she said, I reversed the order and I started practicing the violin. And once I got good at the violin, then I start cleaning up the house. Then I would dust. So basically, I screwed up everything that I was not trying to be great at, and I got great at the one thing, and the stuff that I neglected caused me to get rich, caused me to get good, caused me to become famous. Yeah. It's picking what you do first and working on that and not being upset if you neglect stuff that don't matter as much. Coaching people and understanding that people have the potential to do what I'm saying and not that they're just dumb. It's educating them, giving them knowledge, giving them background, giving them a why, giving them a story. You are there to provide inspiration. Information and inspiration. Information changes the situation. It changes the potential in people. Guess what we're going to do this week? We're going to start finding us some good ones, and we're going to start developing us some good ones, and we're getting to blow this thing up like Mount Fuji, people. We've got the system in place. Our hot spots are growing like crazy. The products, the people, we got this thing. I'm excited to see what holds the future. Can't wait to see what promotions happen this week. And annuities, we're finding annuities and IULs. Congratulations, you guys, on the number. Proud of you. Go get you a t-shirt and a coin. Love y'all. Bye.